the importance of loving kindness. So last week, the shared house that I live in, a young lad moved in, and immediately he and the other man that lives there along with me, those two bonded through shared experience, which was prison. So they unconsciously adapted to living in this house by assuming the lifestyle that they know from in prison. Now, for one of them, that looks like keeping his room very clean and tidy, keeping himself to himself. But for this new lad, it also meant a false sense of hierarchy or proving your worth or not being seen to be certain ways. So on Friday night, we actually had a drink together, and I was showing him love, and that triggered him to feel unsafe. Because, let's face it, real love is powerful, and we've been told that we don't deserve that. So, that can trigger us to feel fearful, or like there's a trick, like nobody gives something for nothing, right? So anyway, after several drinks, he started to get aggressive with me, and he wanted me to fight him, and I made it very clear that I'm not going to fight anybody in this life. I have no intention of harming another, even though I could, because it's the quiet man that is dangerous. If you hold your cards close to your chest, then people can underestimate you. And that is where my power lies, in being unpredictable, but only because it's safe for me to do so. I'm not afraid of any man in this life, not one, because I believe in my destiny and that I am protected. But there's one man who I come close to being fearful of, and that is me. I've seen my own darkness. I know what I am capable of potentially, even in the name of defense. So anyway, on Friday night he punched me and I allowed it. One punch. And then I just very clearly stood my ground. And then it was forgotten about. Then last night, there was a bit of a party atmosphere going on between these men and a guest who I presume also knows about prison life. So, because he was drunk, I'm going to use the word demons. I think we can all relate. Energy was working through him that was trying to antagonize me. So I went down into the kitchen. It was about 10 o'clock. I fancied something to eat. There was food all over the floor in the cupboard. Somebody had been eating my food out of my cupboard, which is fine, because I did say that if anybody needs anything, they are free to help themselves. And so I came down and I went into the kitchen and I proceeded to tidy the kitchen up, clean it. And this man came into the kitchen trying to antagonize me. And I didn't rise to it. I stayed silent. I just carried on washing up. So then he was talking about how I'm in a mood with him and why and all this stuff, and he was calling me Benji as if I'm a dog, and I did not bite. I just tidied the kitchen up for the simple fact that nobody deserves to live in a space like that. So the path of least resistance is just getting rid of the mess out of loving kindness for everybody, including myself. And he kept pushing. He was doing things like sitting on the stairs, so I had to step over him to get to my room. And just kept pushing. And see, the thing is, when anybody instigates an experience where they are angry with you, or when anybody is expressing anger towards you, they're only truly angry at their parents, right? Well, I didn't sign up to be this lad's parent. I'm not his dad. I am not. So he was pushing me into a corner where I either have to stand as an authority or play the stupid prison game. But like I pointed out to him, that's my home. I don't live in prison, so I'm not playing them games. He needed to fight me so that he could beat me, because he said to me, "Oh, you think you're better than everyone else because you're more spiritual?" I said, "No, you think that." All I've done is be a good man, to be helpful to everybody that lives in that house. That's it. So he needed to fight me to feel like he had defeated what he sees as a father figure. But that's inadvertent. I didn't try to achieve that status. So I said to him, I will not give you the satisfaction and the fuel for you to hate yourself. He kept on going on about, I will break your jaw. And I said, and if I let you do that, you would end up committing suicide when you understand the implications of what you've actually done. I said, I'm not fighting you because I don't need to fight you. And the thing is, it's like the demons, because the spirit of alcohol, it just uses people like a hand puppet for destruction. So I said to him, your ancestors, because he's Scottish, I said, your ancestors are disappointed in you because you're acting like a little bitch. You're abusing your Celtic spirit, the fighting spirit, and you're misusing it. It got to the point where he came into my room. So I stayed in my heart space, because when you get pulled out of your center, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Humans are capable of great damage to each other. So, bearing in mind this is the second time that's happened, what I did, I messaged the man who is a kind of support worker for the space that I'm living in, and I told him that this is the second time in a week that that man has attacked me and been aggressive to me in my own home, and I'm just trying to live a peaceful life. It's not possible under these conditions. And the point is, when he hasn't had a drink, he's alright. I say he's alright, he's still lied to me on several occasions to my face. But he's not antagonistic. But I don't care about that. It's not fair to have to deal with two people in one. So potentially he gets removed from that space today. And that is the most loving thing I could do for him. Because he kept going on about me fighting him. And I said, you need a reality check. And he said, what does that mean? I said, you'll see. And he thought that was a threat. I said, no, it's a promise. Tomorrow. He said, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That was an act of loving kindness. For him, he's probably used to going around places, being in places like that and getting moved on for fighting, for having actual fights. But for somebody to calmly just say no might be the short, sharp shock to his system that he needs, because he claims to be a godly man. The energy that was working through him it's like it was drawing on my insecurities. It was talking about things about my hygiene and like my faith. All of this stuff which was trying to get me to come into agreement with what he was saying about me. But I am strong in myself, in my knowing of who I am. Can't be swayed from that. So it ended because at the very end I had to step it up and I had to command my own voice in the situation, and I had to say basically, look, you've got no idea, this is what is going on, get out of my room, this is the last time that I will ask you to move out of my personal space. And so he did. And now, I don't know what's going to happen. But if he confronts me again, and trust me, I don't have any faith in the police or anything. I don't, authorities and all of this nonsense now. But if I have to ring the police, then I will. Because I'm just living a peaceful life. No exceptions. So in the past 24 hours, the most loving thing that I did for humanity was not put somebody through a window. God bless us all. What a funny life.